If you love scrapbook kit clubs, then stay tuned. I have a 12 by 12 layout featuring the March 2020 scrapbooking kit from the Hip Kit Club to document a story I like to call the side hustle. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, where I feature all things scrapbooking and crafting. If that's your jam, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. When you do, click the bell. That way you'll be notified each and every time a new video is posted. So today I'm working with the March 2020 scrapbooking kit from the Hip Kit Club, and I'll go ahead and post a link to the Hip Kit Club down below in the description. You can see they have some fantastic products that come with this kit. If you're looking for a monthly subscription for scrapbooking supplies, this is a fantastic option. I have been a subscriber with Hip Kit Club a few years ago, actually for several years, and then I stopped my subscription because I was getting a ton of subscriptions that I wasn't using, and I recently resubscribed because it's time for me to sort of rebuild my stash a little bit. And so here I showed you that there's some stickers and some thickers, bows, I mean all kinds of fantastic things that come with the kit. I've already cut into the pattern paper. Some of that I'm using for this layout, and then some that I use for other layouts. It's a very affordable subscription kit option, so if you're looking for a nicely curated kit where you don't have to think about it, you get some fantastic product, then go ahead and check out Hip Kit Club. They not only have a scrapbooking kit, they have a scrapbooking add-on, they have a pocket page, they have a mixed media kit, lots of fantastic offerings. So here's a 4x6 photo. It's a selfie that I took, and I'm going to get back to the story here in a second. I went ahead and trimmed down some pattern paper that's going to go to the bottom portion of the layout, one of which I'm going to use as a journaling card, and I'll show you that here in a second. To start out with, I took a piece of textured white cardstock and this little branding strip right here. And actually that was part of a cut apart piece, not a branding strip. And so I'm going to go ahead and lay that down, and that has the days of the week. Then I cut a piece of the pattern paper, that floral pattern paper, which is beautiful, has little birds and flowers, cut that down to 4x6. Then this pocket card is roughly 4x6, and that was a part of a B-side of one of the pattern papers that had a bunch of cut aparts, 3x4 pockets and 4x6 pockets. And then I cut a piece of this blue tone-on-tone stripe pattern paper that's going to finish out the band there. Now the middle card I'm going to use for journaling. I'm going to show you that here in a second. I'm also going to take this marketing strip that's from one of the pattern papers in the kit by Jen Hatfield, and I'm going to go ahead and close off that seam there at the top. Now, to the middle card, I'm going to add some numbered die cuts, and the die cuts I'm using are from the Heidi Swap die cut pack that I'm about to show you here in just a second. I pulled some things to the side, and then there's another die cut pack, and I want to say that is a Maggie Holmes die cut pack. And I'll make sure to post all available products on the Victoria Marie blog, as well as in the description of this video, so you can check that out. What I want to do is to that middle card, as you can see, there's some labels there. You can cut those if you want to, or you can use it as a whole, which I'm doing for this layout. And I'm going to number each one of those rectangular spots. That's where my journaling is going to go. I love journaling in this manner because it allows me to just focus on the facts of the story in a very succinct way. Now, before I add the journaling, I'm going to go ahead and add this frame. This from one of the die cut packs out of the kit. I'm going to back that with some pattern paper. And that pattern paper is sort of a cast off from the, I want to say the pocket card that I put on there. That's the A side. I thought I was going to stitch, but my sewing machine bobbin is acting up. So I'm going to cover up that boo-boo on that frame. I was going to add a little bit of stitching detail there, and it just didn't work. So I'm going to cover that up with a label that says "Let's do this," as well as a little coffee cup tumbler, one of the die cuts that came in one of the packs. Very nice. I'm going to add a little bit of fun foam, so I'm going to pop this up just a little bit. That fun foam's about 1/16 of an inch or something like that. Not too tall, so my layout won't be so bulky. Now, this layout is called Side Hustle, and back in March, I did take a temporary part-time job with a nonprofit that I used to be employed with full-time. I had a former coworker who suddenly quit, and they called me and they was like, "Hey, do you want to make some extra money? We really need some help." As an entrepreneur, I have no problem with taking a side hustle to make a little extra cash. As a freelancer, my income can be very, very, very variable throughout the year. And so I thought, you know, this will be a great time for me to make a little bit of extra cash and kind of get ahead. And I wanted to also get out of the house, to be honest with you. I work from home all the time. And I was starting to feel just a little trapped being at home, working from home all the time. Homeschooling, caregiving, and all kinds of stuff. And so to be out of the house just for a few hours a day, being around other adults, getting some fresh air, kind of doing other types of work than what I normally do throughout the week, which is, of course, working on lots of contract projects and things for my business and all that. It was just nice to get out and to be around other adults and have adult conversation and that type of thing. It can be kind of isolating when you work for yourself. Unfortunately, my side hustle was short-lived, and I will tell you all about that in part 2 of this story. But in the meanwhile, I was really happy to be there, to be able to help, since they needed somebody pretty quickly, and that I still knew how to do the job, so there wasn't a whole lot of learning curve there. So that is me sitting at my desk at the office and being very happy to be out of the house and kind of do something different for a change, even if it was temporary. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some die cuts. This is from a Jen Hatfield die cut set, and I'm going to pop up that middle die cut with some foam here in a second. I wanted to create this kind of really layered floral cluster. It kind of will frame out the layout just a tiny bit. There was a lot of white space there at the top, and I needed to fill it with something. And so I thought, you know what, why not create a nice layered cluster? If you've been following me for some time, then you know that layering is my jam. I absolutely love creating layered elements on a scrapbook page. So that middle flower, I'm going to pop that up with a little bit of foam dots, and then it's going to be flanked by 2 other floral clusters as well as some leaves. I thought about putting this bow here, but that just seemed a little bit too heavy. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off, and I'm going to add some other elements there. I have this little butterfly set that has a little bit of foam adhesive on the back, not too high so it's not bulky, but makes them stand up a little bit off the page. So I put 2 at the top of that floral cluster, and then I put another one there to the bottom as well as around the frame. So I have on the photo layered this little die cut. It's a little plant that looks like it's in a coffee cup, and then I also put a little floral or a little butterfly there. Next up, I'm going to grab these stickers, which are fantastic. They're a printed thicker chipboard. I'm going to have to reinforce that with a little bit of extra adhesive. If you are new to using thickers, the chipboard thickers are fantastic, but the sticky on them, the adhesive on them, tends not to last over time. So you do want to reinforce it a little bit with some more adhesive. My recommendation is to use a nice heavy-duty liquid adhesive. I'm using some Tombow Mono, which is fantastic. So I'm going ahead and adhering that right underneath the cluster, but above my card and my photo, and that looks really nice. Next up, I want to add just a few more elements. I'm going to grab these little puffy stickers. This is again by Thickers. It has some phrases and icons. I did post a list again of all available products in the description box as well as on the Victoria Marie blog. So if there's anything in this kit that you're interested in, you can head on over straight to the Hip Kit Club site, or you can check out the links that I've posted. Now I'm going to add these little dots by Jen Hatfield, and I just want a tiny, tiny little accent there in the middle of the butterflies, as well as on the little coffee cup, the little butterfly that's nestling on the coffee cup there with a little plant. I'm looking at the sticker sheet and trying to decide, is there anything else that I want? And there's lots of little animals and flowers and such. I don't always use animals on layouts, and I didn't use animals on this layout, but I did find this little butterfly, which I thought would be perfect for that cluster to kind of round that out, and it looks beautiful. Next, I'm going to stamp the date, and I think with that, this layout is complete, I believe. No, it's not. I got to add the journaling. That's the important thing. So what I did in Microsoft Word is I created text boxes, 4 of them, and I typed in my journal in the text boxes. I measured the blank spaces on the middle card of the bottom of my layout, so I knew approximately how big to make these boxes. Trimmed it out, and I'm going to adhere it right directly on those labels. Now, I could have taken this to my typecast typewriter, but I had a little bit more to say in those boxes that I need to fit into those boxes. And the typecast typewriter, I think, is a 12-point font, I believe. I could be wrong. So at least when I type it up on the computer, I can do like a 10-point font and get all of the text in that I want to put there in those spaces. So creating text boxes definitely helped me to be able to not only get the words in, but also get the alignment that I want as well. So with that, this layout is complete. Got that gorgeous flower cluster using all those beautiful Jen Hatfield florals. I got the beautiful frame, all that fantastic journaling. I love doing journaling in the list. It's a very easy way to get what you need to say on a layout without feeling like you have to write a long paragraph. And I just overall love this layout. It's so nice and bright. And at least there in the photo, I'm very happy to be back and working with my coworkers, even if it was only temporary. I don't mind taking a side hustle to make a little extra money if it means getting ahead and to have a little bit of reprieve from my everyday as an entrepreneur. So stay tuned for part 2 of that story later to come. Also, if you feel so inclined, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also click the bell. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. When you click the bell indicator, you'll be notified every time I post a new video to this channel. So make sure that you do that. And stay tuned for more process videos to come. Thanks for stopping by.